Join Divine Oracle readings, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Time. Your hosts, Gypsy Lady Eva and Brother Chris, discuss spiritual topics and current events. You can always subscribe underneath YouTube of Divine Oracle readings.
All right, well, welcome everybody today, and happy Mother's Day to all those mothers actually out there. And even though I know that you might not be a mother, but you're sort of like a mother to a lot of people. But happy Mother's Day to you, and also to your mom.
Well, thank you. She's in the other room right now, but that's okay.
Yep. So with the noise in the background, we do apologize, but that noise would be coming from Eva's location. Eva's house is full with actually her mom's sibling, like not siblings, but her family. So yeah, today what Eva and I are going to be doing is we're going to look actually at what makes a mother, and what about if you don't have a mother actually today on Mother's Day. Mothers have been there for quite a long time. They've been there from day one. They're the ones that are more supportive for us. So yeah, it's a great topic to talk about today, especially on May 14th, which is today. So Eva, how are things going actually on your end?
Well, like you said, there was a lot of people here, and it was good because my nephew was here also, and I have not seen him for quite some time. So it's a very good thing. And they stayed overnight, and we had a good time. We watched a movie, National Treasure. So it was a lot of fun together.
Well, that's good. That's good. Yeah, for myself, though, I'm just getting ready for tomorrow. Within the Waterloo region, we have an Indigenous conference going actually on, and I'm there as a vendor with HauntingLIVE podcast. Yeah, so what makes a mother? Let's get down to that topic. What makes a mother? All right. And that's a good question.
Yes, it is. Actually. So. And it's a very difficult question to answer because just having children does not make you a mother. And like you said at the beginning, maybe I mother a lot of people over the years. Even engineers who are much younger than I was, I seem to be someone that they can talk to, someone that's willing to listen, someone that can give advice, although I don't know how good that advice is. You just wonder if it falls, if it's good advice. But that's, I think, normal with anyone. But what makes a mother, I think, like I say, it's a very difficult question to answer. It's not just having kids, because I know women who are more mother or who are better mothers than people who've had children and raised them.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. But I think one common thing that all of them have in common is the fact that they care.
Yeah.
And I think that's the main thing. They care. And that care manifests in many different ways. Giving advice, giving that shoulder that they need to cry on, or sometimes just hanging out together and doing things together.
Yeah. Right now I'm looking actually underneath Google, and what they say for mothers, which is basically what makes a person a mother. And this is one though that they have actually on there. Motherhood means basically sleepless nights, big belly laughs, basically sitting actually at the coffee table, or even the kitchen table, having the big large discussions. It says about finger painting at the kitchen table, kind of sort of style, and also stub toes and gaps actually for all that time that they're always there. So that's what Google actually basically has underneath what makes a mother. And it's true though, basically sleepless nights. A lot of people all right, though there are mother figures or even mothers directly themselves, always have the sleepless nights. They're always worried about the children being actually out. They could be worrying about the house income altogether. Is
Well,
what they're. Go ahead.
it goes back to what I said before. The common thread through this whole thing was the fact that they care.
Yeah, yeah, and it's true
It's
though.
that caring attitude.
Yeah, yeah.
Go ahead.
So it's like so the other thing, those big laughs. Sometimes mothers might laugh actually for nervousness or even for excitement. It's really hard to tell, but again, those mothers are there for caring. Mothers back when, even before your mom's time, were more well known to be doing actually all the housework. But mothers nowadays, they don't. They're actually out there. They're working. They're also caring for the home. Um, and some mothers could be actually fathers also
Yes.
doing the mother's role. Um, that there is so true though, because there's actually single kids living with like say two dads or even two moms. So that way it's an equal share all across the world, like the line.
You know,
So
I was, that just came up in a conversation just recently. Um, the whole idea of same-sex marriages are starting to become more accepted.
yeah,
And because of that, I know some of these people want children, and I think they should have every right to that, so that there will be kids out there that will have two mothers or two fathers that are happily married, not just living together type of a thing, but married, whether it's legitimate or not. And I think that's moving into a whole nother idea of what a mother is, because all of a sudden you're dealing with two mothers, two fathers. And
yeah,
that was something that was never really dealt with before. And now we're dealing with this, and it's shaking it up a little bit. But I still think it goes back to what I said at the original. It's the caring.
yeah,
And uh, in my travels, I know a couple that have been together for 30 plus years, almost 50. Oh, wow, almost 50 years now. And I remember I asked them one time how come they decided, or how come they didn't have children. They were excellent. They were the kind that should have been mothers. And like they said, they both said this about the same thing, and it was that at that time, the time that they were just before all this uh, homosexuality was accepted as a reality. It was before all these things that we are now dealing with and are not stigmatizing. And I think Ruth and Connie would have made an excellent pair of mothers in different ways. But like they both said the same thing. It was just too soon.
yeah,
And it's kind of sad, but they did do volunteer work with the girls. Was it the Girl Scouts or the Big Sisters, something like that, where they were working with children. So
yeah, yeah. Well,
just
I like what I also like with what you were saying though. Not only being a mother, like giving birth and all that, doesn't really count you actually as a mother. Um, right? There's so many children nowadays that are actually in the foster care that they're not around their biological mother. I ran into somebody today while I was doing our regional MMIW walk. If you guys missed that, catch our last episode. Actually, here on YouTube, we were talking about MMIW. But anyway, so it's the lady I was talking with though has ran into their biological child, and the child that they gave up is now actually an adult, and the child still called biological mom and said, "Hey, happy Mother's Day," even though that you didn't raise me. And the mother was actually happy for that. Now there are terms so that basically though that mothers can't provide for the children. And there's times so that children actually put in foster care. Okay, which is a little bit different, but still, there's people there that are actually working there like a mother and making sure though that things are going the right way for the child, so the way the child's going down the right road. So, yeah, and we'll be right. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I often we're just being too kind to each other.
Yes.
I really think, I'm trying to think of how to say this. The way our societies are evolving, we are more accepting of a different lifestyle. And I think that allows people to be more open about these things, to be more accepting of different aspects of what it means to be a mother and what it means to be a father.
Yeah. And
it's becoming more acceptable to see two moms or two dads. And it's not going to be something that will, that's old. It's like, okay. And I'm glad that's happening.
Yeah.
All right. I just threw that in there.
It's good. It's good though. But we'll be right back. We're going to take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back with this.
At any time, so that's why our Etsy store is always open. Get your paranormal items from cleansing to protection to attraction.
How's it going? I've got a challenge for you guys. If you guys follow, like, and subscribe, sort of like what's saying right here, I actually need this page underneath YouTube. So I encourage you guys actually to like, subscribe, share actually to all your friends. A lot more hits. Alright? You guys have an awesome day, and I look forward for you seeing actually you guys like and subscribe.
September 10th, why not come out to the Stratford Perth Museum for the Indigenous Arts and Craft Market for celebration with the You can always listen to Divine Oracle readings on audio play.
All right, so we're back, and so Eva, you were just saying though about something about your family, right when we were on commercial break.
Yes, my nephew was here. I asked my mother to help bring me something, and a remark was made, and I said, no, she did have it good because my nephew was here, her grandson, and he did all the dishes for her. So she got to sit back and enjoy the family, enjoy the conversation. And we had an interesting conversation, as we always do. And, but she says, you didn't have to do that. It's like, yes, I did. Shut up and sit down.
Well, that's good though, because basically though is again those like what we were saying actually in the first beginning. It doesn't matter what type of mother you are. Still, a grandmother is still a mother.
Yes, she is,
and also helping out around the house. And I know for my mother right now, though she's actually in the long-term care. And she's getting actually the service that she's getting, which is good.
Excellent.
I saw her actually on Thursday, and she turned around to me. She said, though she hates though that she's bugging the nurses. So I turned around to my mother and I was like, "Mom, don't worry about it. That's actually the responsibility for them." So, Eva, you were also saying earlier today though that you had something to read.
Yes, I do. There's Mom in the background. There she goes. She limps around. Let me get it here. Just a second. It's titled Just Because She's Your Mom. And she's going to love you forever, no matter what. You can't treat her just any old way and think it doesn't matter. Don't treat the person who loves you the most the worst. Don't take her for granted. She may not let you see it, but your shortness, your impatience, Your harsh words make her steal away to a quiet place and cry. Her heart hurts to understand why you would seem so angry with her. She will not always agree with you, but she will always love you. And it doesn't matter how old you are or how old she is. Treasure your mom. You'll never have another one. And that
And
is so true.
that's what I was gonna say. It is so true. It is so true.
Oh,
Mothers
very.
are mothers are always there, right? And again, those even though you might have your biological mother, and some of us, so we've actually lost our mothers, or some of them are not fully here mentally. So your mother is actually your mother. It doesn't really matter. Again, those you could be living on the streets, right? Be hanging out with a group of people. Whoever's taking the responsibility, sort of like a mother, is a mother to you. So their mothers are actually always there caring for you, which is what Eva was saying earlier. They want to help you with mostly with actually always the good way,
Mhm.
right? But they're always testing you to make sure though that you're actually on the right path.
You know, my mother and my father both had the same philosophy. And growing up, my parents never said no to us. What they would do is sit us down and say, now, why do you want, we come to my mom, I want to buy a car. I want to do this. I want to do that. And rather than saying, no, you're not going to do it because they could see where it was going, what they did is they would sit us down and say, now tell me why you want to do that. Sometimes by the end of the first sentence, you realize you're not going to do it because it really was stupid.
Yeah.
But it was one thing my mom and my dad always did to us. They never said no, but they always made us explain why we wanted to do that. And I think that's what makes a mother and a father who they are.
Yeah.
Just to
Yeah.
throw it in
And
there.
it's true though. Now I know a couple of days ago you and I were chit chatting, and it's to do with a mother. A mother. I was actually out with a couple of days ago. She's one of my good close friends. She's younger than me, but she's just a mother altogether. Anyways, I took her out to the res, to one store actually here. For people in Ontario that know this location, it's called Aircraft. Now it's actually on Six Nations. I took her and I said to her, okay, would you bring your children here? Now she has three children, and she said one of the child she would not bring. The reason was because the child would be touching everything. Now the two older ones, so she would bring directly because it's more educational. And again, though she's a mother, she's always acted like a mother to most people throughout high school. I went to high school with her, but the thing is, she's always been there for supportive. And even if you need somebody to talk to, she's there for talking to. In those, I took her out, and her and I had an experience so that we would never forget that day.
Oh,
Right?
tell me.
Oh yeah, okay. Right. So what had happened though is my great uncle is actually buried down there. Since for those that don't know, I'm actually Indigenous, third generation. So, anyways, those we were Trevor, which is the producer of HauntingLIVE podcast, and myself. We've been trying to find this plot. But I said to my friend, "Oh, do you want to check out this location that's haunted?" And she's like, "Yeah, sure." And I said, "Well, there's a graveyard there." So what had happened was we pulled up. There was somebody there taking photos, and I left my friend. I went over to talk to the person. Found out she's a caretaker of the location. She is also a mother. So, but anyway, so I found out though that she's got the information of right where my uncle's buried. And her and I were chit chatting, and she said, without history, where would it be? Where would we be? And I said to her, "That's so true." And I said to her, "Well, coming actually as a mother, what do your children feel about you doing actually all this stuff?" She said, "My children are actually really happy. The reason was because they want to follow my footsteps about getting more information brought forward about history." And that's sort of to do with today's topic. Also, though, is children following actually mother's footsteps. Also, so yeah,
Cool.
so that took place, right? It was the grace of the energy that actually was speaking, And right when everything was going on, I was thinking about actually doing this show. So it's like,
Well,
like,
I have to tell you this, speaking of following footsteps, my brother went to a garden shop, I believe it is. And he went to do something with the card, and the lady says, how do you spell your last name? And he said, Kromer. Well, guess what? That was her name, last name.
okay.
Come to find out, her grandfather was one of our teachers when I was at St. Clair County Community College here over there in Port Huron, and his last name was Cromer, and strong possibility that we're quite related, but it was just very interesting, and that got the conversation going here about is it 21 and me, 23 and me? There are two sites that you can look up ancestry.
Yeah.
So it's just very interesting how these connections spiral and come back, and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And we found out that Mr. Cromer had passed away. He was in his 90s. So again, there's the long family history, or a long family lifeline.
Yes, lifeline. Yes.
Oh,
yes.
geez. My nephew was married in February, and they had all the grandmas there, his side, her side, and there were 3 grandmas there, 92, 93, and 99.
Yeah.
That's a lot of years.
That is especially like how young your mother is, right? Your mom is still really young. She's young-hearted, she's young going, right? And again, those your mom is always there, which is awesome. Anytime though that we
Yeah.
start to chatting, um, off the show or on the show, your mom's always there, which is awesome. It's like so again, those mothers are always there for caring. They're always willing to step in. And even you might have heard her while Eva was talking just a little bit about the story. You might have heard her mom speaking within the
Yes.
background. So yeah, moms are always there. If you guys haven't been to see your mom today, give her a call. If your mom unfortunately is passed away, if you guys are close to your mom's plot, go out and see your mom today. Make sure it's done today before midnight or before they close graveyards. Send your mom actually some love. All right, your mother has done so much for you, and the best thing to do is again show some gratitude and say thank you, mom.
I was thinking of the Beatles song, love, love, love. All you really need is love, love.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's all right. Our listeners right now are probably enjoying it. Again, though, we do say thanks a lot. And next week, though, is going to be a great topic. And Eve and I, we've actually both discussed this. So again, though, just let you know, each and every week nowadays, instead of doing live audio, what we're going to be doing though is audio. Except for commercials, though, you'll be able to take part of the commercials. Again, though, we're always here at 7:00 Eastern Standard Time or 4 p.m. Pacific Time. Put some likes in there, put some shares. All right. Anything else that you have to say, Eva?
Yeah, you speak. We were talking. Mom's being not your mom. My friend, who's I consider an adopted sister, Lynn, called my mom today, wished her happy Mother's Day. She has lost her mom, but she thinks of my mom as a mom. Yep. And Brenda, another lady, also thinks of my mom as a mom. So she's got several children that she did not birth. Including BJ called too. Yes. Another friend. And so you don't have to birth a child to have a child or to have a daughter or a son.
Yeah.
you just have to care. And that's the main thing about what my mom does. So I have a great teacher. So
Yeah. That's like that. So again, though, from Eva and myself, we do say thanks a lot for tuning in this week. We look forward for you guys tuning in next week for a lot of great episodes. Again, though, thank you very much, Eva, and I'm going to say it to you and also to your mom. Happy Mother's Day. Enjoy the beautiful.
thank you.
No problem. And enjoy the beautiful weather that we both have. Since you're over there in Michigan, the States, and I'm over here in Canada. Again, those enjoy the beautiful weather.
How's it going? I've got a challenge for you guys. If you guys follow, like, and subscribe, sort of like what's saying right here, actually need this page underneath YouTube. So I encourage you guys actually to like, subscribe, share actually to all your friends. That way, a lot more hits. Alright? You guys have an awesome day, and I look forward for you seeing actually you guys like and subscribe right here underneath Divine Oracle Readings.